When you think of a NASCAR driver's career and their race wins, you typically think of two wins for the most part. The first one and the last one. Now the question that I would like to present to you is, who has the greatest final win in NASCAR history, and how can we determine that? Is it safe to say that the greatest final win should come from a legend in the sport who has the most wins, or maybe from someone who had a decent career and won a crown jewel before they retired? What about a driver whose final career win is considered to be the greatest finish in NASCAR history? Should the significance of the race determine the greatest final win, or should the driver's reputation and career in the sport determine it? We've seen drivers go out and announce their retirement and then go on to win races in their final seasons, like Jeff Gordon, Matt Kenseth, and Tony Stewart. We've also seen final wins come when drivers were at the tail end of their careers. So what does determine who has the greatest final win in NASCAR history? Well, there is one that combines both driver reputation and significance of the race. With that, I present to you the greatest final win in NASCAR history.
Hold your breath, folks. Less than 3 laps to go. Who's going to win it? 47 lead changes, 21 different drivers. Mark Martin trying to plow his way through a minefield of race cars at 190 miles an hour. And here comes Earnhardt. How did he get through all these cars?
The date is October 15th, 2000. At the Talladega Superspeedway, the 30th race of the season, and the site of Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s final win in his legendary career. Coming into the final few laps, Earnhardt would find himself mired back in traffic, but that wasn't going to stop Mr. Restrictor Plate from climbing his way from 17th spot in 4 laps. Earnhardt would be 15th on the final restart of the race and stay around that position until there was about 5 laps to go. He would then begin to mount his way to the front, rubbing up against other competitors' doors and using his drafting talent to his advantage. Dale went nowhere in the 10 laps following the restart to going to the lead in the remaining 5 laps. This was just incredible to see how you can never truly count him out, especially at Talladega.
And Earnhardt has gone for the lead. And listen to this crowd of 170,000 strong. Richard Childress, both his cars running round 2 as he comes for the white flag.
What makes this win so significant, not only for Dale himself, but for why it should be the greatest final win in NASCAR history, is the fact that he came from so far back with less than 5 laps to go, and then would go on to not only win the first place purse prize, which was a record amount at the time, but he would also go on to win the No Bull Challenge and win another $1 million on top of the first place winnings. This was Dale's first time winning the $1 million bonus, pretty fitting that it was for his final win. Dale maneuvered his way through traffic at one of his best racetracks to win and secure a hefty payday. And it's not even the fact that Dale got to the lead for the first time in the final few laps either. He led the second most laps of this race with 34, right behind Bill Elliott, who led 40. So he had a dominant car throughout the race, got caught back in traffic, but stayed determined and went on to win this race. Dale Earnhardt Sr. would tragically lose his life a few months later at Daytona, but when you look back on this race, you can't help but feel satisfied that this was his final win. Just watching his determination to win at a style of racetrack where he shined his entire career. So now looking back on the question at the beginning of the video, what makes a final win the greatest? I would say it has to be the significance of the race, and for Dale, this was a pretty big win for him that I don't think can be topped by another driver. Dale Earnhardt was known for his superspeedway ability, and in his final Talladega race, he would go on to demonstrate why he was one of the greatest and rally the black number 3 back from the middle of the pack to winning the race. So what do you think of this? Do you consider Dale Sr.'s final win to be the greatest final win in NASCAR history? If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I appreciate all your opinions, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.